This is the Photoshop Subtractive Straight Ahead tutorial. Once again, you want to have Photoshop open, and you want to go to a new file, and you want to use the Film and Video presets, HDV, HDTV 720. Now for this one, you have to make a couple of changes though. So for the background contents, you want to take transparent. You may not be able to see it, but if you scroll, you should be able to find it at the bottom of the box. And select background transparent, and then create your file. Now you see it looks very similar, except you've got your checkerboard for the transparency. Once again, we're going to be working with the file, and we're going to name it with the same file type name, but we're going to call it, the last name, first initial, underscore, subtractive. It's a PST once again. Make sure it's going into the correct folder and save it. Now at the bottom of the screen, we want to make sure to select Create Frame Animation and click on that button so that you get your first frame showing. Save that again, Command S, to make sure that you have it saved. Now, because we have the background transparent, and because Photoshop tends to, unless you play around with the presets, it tends to pick whatever layer happens to have something on it when you click on an area on the screen. You want to make sure that as you go, you lock the layers. This is important, so remember that. We want to use a different color. So for this color, let's select a red. Nice bright red. Once again, we've got a 24 pixel round hard brush. And this time we're going to start with the completed letter B on frame 1. So you draw the entire letter B. And subtractive, we're going to take away. So we're going to erase until we get to the first frame. So there's my B. I'm going to save that. I'm going to come over here, select that layer. It's called layer 1 because it's transparent. When you have transparency, it will not call it background and lock it. So Command Save and lock this layer. So I'm going to go lock. But we're going to Command J to duplicate it. This one is not locked, you see. Now we're going to get our eraser tool, which is this thing down in the middle of the menu. It says eraser tool. If you press E, you'll get it. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to press E. And now I've got an eraser, and I'm going to look to see it's a size 60, which is probably a good idea. If it's larger than the cursor, then you'll make sure that you're going to erase. Since it's larger than the brush, you'll make sure you're going to erase enough of it so you don't have edges. So I'm going to come to a part, and let's see, when I finished for the A, it was on the right hand side, and I finished drawing the B over here. So I'm going to start by erasing here. I'm going to erase some, but I can't tell I've erased it because my eyeball is still turned on in the layers. So I'm going to turn off the layer, and now you can see. Okay, so we have to lock, and we have to turn off the eyeball, or we can't tell what we're doing. Okay, now let's Command J again. So now we have another layer. I'm going to select this one and lock it. I'm going to turn off the eyeball. And now I'm going to come over here and see, it thinks I'm still on that layer, so I have to select this layer. I'm going to come over here now and I'm going to erase this. And we'll just continue to do that. Command J. Make sure that you, in fact, I think if we just turn off the eyeball, maybe it won't select it. So just turn off the eyeball now and come over and erase. Command S, Command J, turn off the eyeball. You're going to do that until you get up to copy number 13. We'll leave a little bit down at the bottom so it's like the A was. Okay, now I'm going to Command Save, Command S. I'm going to turn on all my eyeballs and unlock all of my layers. Now once again, we're going to come over to the side and we're going to make frames from layers. Command Save. Now click on the first one. I'm going to get my selection tool here, my move tool, to make sure that when I select things I don't accidentally erase something. So I'm going to get my move tool, click on layer on frame 1, and then shift click on frame 14. I should have 15. I think I'm going to have to make another one. I'm going to, since I forgot that I need to make another, I'm going to duplicate this one. So let's go to copy frame, paste frame, paste after selection, and then over here I'm going to Command J, turn off this eyeball, and I'm going to get the eraser and I'm going to erase some more. Ha, it works. Okay, so now I'm going to click on the first one, shift click on the last one. I'm going to change 0 seconds to 0.1 seconds. Command Save, play that to see it works. And it works. And I'm going to tell it to loop, so forever. Okay, Command Save, and now I'm going to go to File, Export, Render Video, make sure my selections are correct, make sure I have the correct folder selected, yes I do, choose, and it's H264, okay, 1280 by 720, 30 frames per second, preset progressive, and so render that. Okay, there you go. And now, I'm going to say this once again. And now I'm going to minimize and check, and there it is. If you have a transparent background, when you render your video, it's on a black background. Okay, so if you wanted it to be on a white background, which you could certainly do, you can be on frame 1, and you want to come down to layer 1, add a layer, you want to pull it underneath layer 1, and this layer you want to select all, or you could just edit fill, you can fill it with white. Okay, so I'm going to select all again, and I'm going to click the eyeball off and on for frame the layer 2, and that puts the white behind that. Save it and File, Export, Render Video, saving with the same settings, render. Oh, cancel, we want to put a letter after this, so B. And let's render it because we don't want to overwrite, because you want you to be able to see both of them at the same time. And that's saved, quit. And then we can see that we've got this have white in the background as well. Okay,